By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of an LG wash tower with ultra-large capacity, serving up a powerful yet gentle clean in just 29 minutes. Making this the sound of savings on the best appliance brands. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off the LG wash tower with ultra-large capacity and reduced wash time. Pricing valid January 5th through January 25th, 2023. Gas dryer extra. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Hey, what's up? This is Sully from Godsmack. Strap on those boots, baby, because you are now in the trenches of the war room with the one and only Mistress Carrie right here on the Mistress Carrie podcast.
What's up? This is Joe Rogan, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Her hair so lovely, pretty eyes.
Hey, this is Brent from Shinedown, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie. Hey, Carrie, go put your bra on, girl.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler, and you be listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
What's up? This is Aaron from Stain, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, and you're listening to the one, the only Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is David from the band Disturbed, and you're listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
Hi, Bruce Dickinson here from Iron Maiden. Yes, indeed, Miss Whiplash herself, Mistress Carrie, is here to unchain your brain.
Hi, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're listening to Mistress Carrie.
This is Dennis Leary. You are listening to my favorite, Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is Corey from Stone Sour, and you're listening to, you have the privilege of listening to Mistress Carrie. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, reporting for duty from MCHQ for a bonus episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Digital Federal Credit Union, better known as DCU. And since their beginnings as a credit union for the employees of Digital Equipment Corporation back in 1979, DCU has never lost sight of its roots of being a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by and operated by and for their members. A lot of things can change in 40 years, but some things remain constant, like DCU's unwavering commitment to provide exceptional service and to make a positive impact in the communities where their members live and work. No matter their members' unique goals, they are committed to helping them the only way they know how, the DCU way, which consists of 3 simple philosophies that guide every DCU team member. People come first, do the right thing, and make a difference. And giving back is central to what they do. And I know this because I've been working with them for decades. And I am honored to have them as sponsors of the Mistress Carrie podcast. Okay, this episode is a bonus episode. It's Friday, December 17th, and tomorrow, Evanescence and Hailstorm were supposed to be bringing their co-headlining tour to the DCU Center in Worcester. And earlier this week, the band had to announce that COVID had hit the tour and they needed to postpone those dates. The new date for the DCU Center is now scheduled for January 20th. And Hailstorm, Evanescence, and Lilith Czar will all be there. And if you've got tickets for the show, they're going to be good in January. So Amy Lee wanted to call in and talk about the rescheduled date and her big birthday that happened earlier this week as well. We talked about what it was like to finally get back out on the road, the new tour stage production, being able to have the band all in one place, how everyone in the band is feeling, her massive birthday, the holidays, and I may have sung to her, which was a humiliating experience. So here is a bonus episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast. Allow me to introduce you again to Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Okay. This meeting is being recorded.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Amy! Happy birthday to you!
Thank you. Oh my God.
You are so welcome for that. People that I...
That's not how I thought this was going to start.
People that I love, that I have known for a long time, it is my thing that I call and leave that on their voicemail on their birthdays.
You know what, Carrie? That is what my grandmother always used to do.
Really?
Every year. And you let it go to voicemail and she would sing you happy birthday. Well, if you answer, then you get it live.
Right.
And I still have one from her saved. So sweet. Thank you. I hadn't had that in a while.
The problem is that unlike you, I have zero singing ability, which makes it oh so painful.
It sounded like you were milking that a little bit.
Yeah,
I think you could do better if you tried.
If I tried, but it would be embarrassing if I tried. I can only hide behind the fact that I didn't try.
I love it.
How are you? How are you feeling? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, it was just a stressful week. But I'm maybe it's part of growing up. I'm learning to just like accept the things we can't control. And you got to just, especially in this time, like be flexible, do everything you can to protect yourself and the people around you. But then when the shit hits the fan, we just have to be honest and do the right thing and accept that you're going to be flexible and plans can change. I'm super grateful that, well, for one thing, that everybody's vaccinated. So the cases that did pop up are mild symptoms. And but beyond that, like we were able to rebook our shows like instantly. So we're already booked for January. I know that's what we're here to talk about, but like I'm just got a lot to be grateful for. So I'm definitely not sitting around bummed out. I got to come home and see my son, and he was waiting up to like make me eat cake, even though I hadn't had dinner, and give me balloons and everything before bedtime. So,
well, when I had you on the show the first time with the guys and you were talking about, the struggle of making the record and getting everybody kind of hermetically sealed in the studio, then you come on the show with Lizzie talking about this exciting tour and literally all the precautions. And no matter how hard you tried, here we are talking about the fact that even though you guys tried your hardest, you said in an interview that this virus is a bitch. I think that's the perfect way to describe it.
Well, it is. You just we can't change the bitter truth of the times that we're living in. And honestly, I mean, I know we were doing everything right. Like everybody was fully vaccinated. We had 0 guests. I played, I had to play like our hometown shows. I played here and I live in Nashville now. I had like 60 people on my guest list alone. And I didn't see a single one of them. Like I got to wave from the stage. We were masked all the time. We test daily. But honestly, the element that could improve is the crowd wearing their masks, if I'm being fully honest, because that's the element where you have to leave something up to people to be responsible for themselves and do the right thing. We are requiring vaccination or proof of a negative test for the shows, but you got to wear a mask really, whether you're vaccinated or not, because like you're seeing here, you can be vaccinated and still catch it and still pass it to somebody else. And it's not just about us, it's about caring for each other, Well,
and I think the thing is, I've heard it a ton of times, you're not going to die, right? Because the death rate compared to the positive test rate, your odds of quote unquote dying. But as a singer, especially like Mark Lanigan just released that book, Devil in a Coma from Screaming Trees. He was in a coma and went deaf because of COVID. So as a singer, I think Wolfgang Van Halen came out and said in an interview, look, I'm not worried about dying. I'm worried about not being able to sing again because I'm worried about my lungs.
But you're absolutely, but it's not, I just feel like the part that I don't understand why it's not a bigger deal to some people. Like, it's not just about your health. Like, I'm good. I'm a healthy person. I don't get sick much. I'm in my whatever age group. Like, my dad has Parkinson's. My brother died related to his epilepsy. Like, I wouldn't want to not be doing the right thing, to not wear my mask when I go to the grocery store or anything else, because there are so many people, as unfortunately we know, that aren't vaccinated and are vulnerable to the disease and are, have other stuff going on in their lives where it absolutely could be deadly to them. And we have no way of knowing that. The only thing we can do is just our part in the community, you know, and it's not going to be forever. I mean, it's gone on a long time, but it's only going to take longer if we like don't do our part in helping make it go away.
Well, my mom has Alzheimer's, and so I was so worried that she was going to get it and then have to be hospitalized and not understand what was going on and not be able to see people's faces, not be able to have family around. Like, that was my concern with how traumatic it would be for her. Heaven forbid she got sick and ended up in the hospital. The whole thing is just crazy. So let's talk about the good part of it. You did get a bunch of those shows to go off before this all happened. Tell me how amazing it was to get back up on that stage with the fans.
Oh my God, so good. I mean, I'm grateful. I was already grateful. I have so many reasons to feel like I can't believe we're still doing this. I'm so appreciative of the way things have turned out. We've been through plenty. But this, like, you know, just like I think for everybody kind of going through this time of the last like 2 years now, especially at the top of it, like, when is it gonna be okay? Like, when am I gonna get to see my mom? Like, when can I ever go back on tour again? You just start appreciating the things that you didn't even realize you were taking for granted a little bit before. And I have a really special job. Like, I get to do what I love for a living. So to be finally back and to have had, you know, all this new music that we made during this time, like we have a new record to finally express live and share with our fans. It feels so good. That's really what I meant when I have so much to be grateful for. It's hard to be too sad. The last 5 shows, and we still get to do them. It was beautiful. And to be with Lizzie too. Like, we're all friends with each other. So as much as we, you know, did have to keep our bubble and not see anybody else outside the tour, we did get to be with each other.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The people in your bubble was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a cool bubble. So we were having a great time. And I can't wait to pick it up again. I feel extremely lucky and just grateful, just really grateful. It feels amazing. It feels amazing to be back on stage. And our production is like the coolest it's ever been.
Well, I've seen a lot of the videos, obviously the viral videos of you and Lizzie performing together, you know, the Linkin Park cover and all the stuff. Like, when we talked, when you announced the tour, I asked you about the production and you were like, we're working on some really cool stuff. That's literally what we're working on right now. And I mean, obviously from what I've seen, because I haven't seen the live show yet, it looks amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it was amazing. It will be again.
Tell me the feeling of being out there, right? And holding the microphone and being able to turn around and having the band. You guys were separated for so long and you finally get everybody in the same place. Does it make it so much more special to turn around and see those people that you made this music with and you're all back together again?
Yeah, it does. It's really satisfying. It's just like, like, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. It's exactly that. And I'm just really proud of them. This has just taken a lot to come through all of this and to be productive at the same time and to be ending up in this moment where we get a little bit of victory, you know. It's awesome. And I hope that we're spreading hope and something good for people that come to our shows, that is, you know, just that loving each other and working together. Like, we are going to come through this, you know, but it's got to come from like being a part of it, you know, being a part of the solution.
I love the things that you and Lizzie were talking about being able to put a tour together at this scale and have it be Lilith Czar, Hailstorm, Evanescence. You know where I'm going. Like, it's amazing.
Thanks. It's felt really empowering. And Lilith Czar is great. I hadn't seen them live before. I hadn't seen her live before. The band's tight. She's a beautiful singer, very charismatic performer. And we split it in half. The first half we had Plush, which was like my choice. And then Lizzie got the second half and she chose Lilith Czar. And we both just loved both. Plush is an all-female band. They're like, I mean, like between the ages of 18 and 21.
So
I mean,
crazy.
they're so confident and so like, just, they seem like they've been playing together for 10 years. And it's just really cool to see them on their first tour, feeling confident like that. I feel like that might've been harder, a few years ago, because when I remember coming out, I didn't feel confident like that. I felt scared. Felt like I was the only one.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you know, but in a lot of the circles, the bands we were playing with and everything else, I was backstage and on stage. So to see it shift, and we have, you know, I talk about our production being so cool. We have a amazing, incredibly talented production designer who is a female named Suna Roulier, and incredible, awesome, talented new LD who is a female who's super rad. It's just a whole team of men and women, you know, working together to make something that just doesn't have the boundaries like that anymore. So we've got a lot to be, you know, empowered by and proud of, for sure.
A lot of people are coming out of this era changed because of COVID. And then you also look at milestone birthdays as kind of a way to kind of take stock in yourself and move forward. You're kind of getting them both at the same time. When I turned 40, I threw myself a funeral for my youth. Eulogized my youth to kind of move forward and bury all the stupid things that I had done and kind of move forward. What have you found any kind of greater meaning in a signature birthday, a milestone birthday like that?
I really feel like I'm a little bit quicker to accept. Like I was just saying just a second ago, I feel like that's sort of my moment. My new feeling of the moment is like accepting those things that you can't change and just making the best out of what you get. And I've got a lot. And also, you know, just sort of recognizing what things are and going, okay, this is the truth. This is what things are. So like, let's deal with that and move forward in just like truth, and not hide from it, because life can be beautiful. It's hard too, though. You got to like take the whole pill.
A lot of women had told me when I was younger that when you hit a birthday like that, you learn that you don't have to give a fuck. And
yeah, that was 30 for me.
Was it?
Yeah. 30 was my I don't give a fuck. Like everybody can think whatever they want to think, I'm doing me.
40 really kind of like cemented it for me, because it was just like, it's like this acceptance of like, you know,
who you are.
Yeah.
Like this is it. I'm sure of who I am now. I'm not looking anymore. I know me.
Yeah. And it's a really liberating thing.
Right. For sure.
Well, January 20th, you're going to be at the DCU Center. The date's rescheduled. The tour is coming. The tickets are going to be accepted if people had them for the show tomorrow. We just got to wait a few weeks, but you guys are coming. Thankfully, you didn't have to cancel.
I know. I'm so grateful. And it just all worked out. I think it was just like one of those things where it's like, okay, all we can do is what's right. And it all came together for us. All the venues had dates. Hailstorm made themselves available. Like it all worked it out. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it, and fine to take a few weeks to just like rest my voice and get it back up, because it was actually really tired. So like having a couple of weeks to sort of rest things up and feel good again, like it's like fresh, like the beginning of the tour, is not the worst thing in the world for me.
Not only that, but we're going into the holidays and you get to spend some extra time with your family. And
I still had some presents to buy. Like I actually was kind of behind on that. So yes.
Now there's no excuse.
Yeah, I know.
And you get to experience the holidays the way that you want, which is with kids around. Like you're going to be able to enjoy all of that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Happy New Year. And
thank you. And thank you for singing to me.
Oh,
that was
you're so
memorable. Extremely memorable.
I will see you in a few weeks. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And you'll have to just wait another year for me to sing to you now. I've reached my quota. Okay.
Well, now I'm going to count on it. So that's happening.
Write it down. Bye, Amy.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Thanks, you too. There she is, the one and only Amy Lee from Evanescence. And she was so gracious about the singing. That was, as we heard, terrible. If you got tickets to see them on the last few dates of the tour that they had to reschedule, hold on to them. And if you don't have tickets yet, the DCU Center on January 20th in Worcester, Massachusetts is where you need to be. There's a link to buy the few remaining tickets that are still available in the show notes of this podcast. You'll also find links to find Amy Lee online, to find Evanescence online. You'll find all of my links as well, and the link to the corresponding playlist that is filled with Evanescence, Hailstorm, and Lilith Czar music to get you psyched up for the show coming up next month. Huge thanks once again to our sponsor, Digital Federal Credit Union. You can find them online at dcu.org. And I also want to remind you that you can give Mistress Carrie as a gift this holiday season. You can log on to mistresscarrie.com and check out my official online store. And if you liked what you heard, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow so you don't miss anything from the Mistress Carrie podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Plus, every weekday, you get the Sit Rep, which is all your rock news, music headlines, and industry info in less than 5 minutes. And you get bonus episodes like this one. The Mistress Carrie Podcast, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about that sound? You're listening to a set of GE appliances, complete with all you need to keep food fresh, dishes clean, and everything else stress-free. Making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off select GE appliances right now. Offer valid January 5th through January 25th, 2023. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.